a valley fold instead of the mountain fold, so that it does not actually come together exactly as a 5x7 card. However, because this card is really meant to sit as a display like that, I think I'm not going to worry about it. And if you would like to know how I made this card, then stick with me and I'll show you how. Need 2 pieces of cardstock that are cut to 11x7, and if you want to use the extender, depending on the number of letters that you're going to be displaying, then you would cut that at 3x7, and I am going to be using that. The scoring is going to be the same for both of those 11x7s. So we're going to start at 3/4 of an inch, and then we're going to continue on at 3/4 till we get down to 6. So it's 3/4, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, 3, 3 3/4, 4 1/2, 5 1/4, and then finally 6. And you're going to repeat that for the other piece as well. For the extender, you want to place it with your 3-inch side across, and again 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/2 inches, and 2 1/4. So again, you have all those gaps are 3/4 of an inch. Going to bring in your 2 pieces and going to make a series of mountain and valley folds in a concertina style. So your mountain goes up and your valley goes down like that. Just continue on, fold that back, up, other piece. Just fold that back up like that. And it makes one continuous concertina or accordion. Now for the panels that are going to be attached here and the mats and layers, I have these. I have cut out 16 of these. These are the panels. They measure 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. Then I've got this holographic mirror card, and this measures 2 by 3. And then finally the pattern paper, the layer portion, and this is 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. So I will attach them like so. I have the mirror card, the mat onto the panel here, like that, and then like that. And then to attach it, you want to apply your glue no more than 3/4 of an inch in, because that's the width of these score lines here. And you want to also make sure it goes flush to the top. You'll do the same when you come to the bottom. You'll make sure it's flush to the bottom, because that's going to give it stability and balance. So just take your glue and go about 3/4 of an inch. If you go a little over, you can just use your finger to wipe it away. It should be all right. Then we're going to take it and match it up here on this mountain fold. It will snuggle right inside of that fold, and you can feel along the side, the top here, that it's in place. And then you can just give it a good burnish like that. Okay, and then you'll continue on, and I'll show you then what you do with the bottom. Now, I'm going to be quite honest with you here. As I went to close this card up, I realized I've made an error. Here in the front, you see here, it's not meeting up because I think I should have folded that back on itself first and then started my concertina. At this point it's a little too late, but I think I'm going to stick with it. In fact, I could have it so that it would be like that, or of course like that as well, and I could put maybe some more decoration down there, but lesson learned. Yes, that should have been folded over. Then this one would have been the valley, the start of the valley, and then onward. So if I do this again, I would make sure that I corrected that. However, I think it still makes a nice display. It's a little difficult, as I said, to get it into the fullness of the shot there. It makes quite a statement when it's on a shelf or a mantelpiece. In fact, it measures probably over, see, my mat here is 17 inches plus probably another 4 inches, so over 21 inches, I would think, something like that. There is the accordion card. Now, to close that up, as I was going to, I would have put perhaps a ribbon on the back and then put my mat and layer to write a message on there. That would trap the ribbon in there, and you could wrap it around and close it, or you could use a belly band. And in fact, it might look just fine like that, with that little bit sticking out there. Well, some things work out, sometimes they don't. So there we are though, and I love the inside of this. And if I really wanted to, what I could do, I could deconstruct this at some point and just take all these panels off and make a new card base for it, which I might consider, but I think I'm going to leave it at that because I think you get the idea. Well, it was quite an adventure, I must say. It wasn't very hard to do, but of course I did make a bit of a boo-boo on there. However, I'm still quite pleased with the overall look of the card. And if you decide to make this card yourself, remember that you don't have to have that extension piece in the middle. You can just use the folds that come with the two pieces that fit together, so you don't have to go to that extent. So much for joining me today in the making of this expandable accordion card. Even though it didn't turn out quite the way I had hoped, I'm still quite pleased with the overall look of it and the dramatic effect that it gives as a You'll come back again for another video tutorial, and that you'll share this with your friends. In the meantime, please stay safe and crafty hugs. Bye.